Finding the right weight loss and fitness methods that work best for you can be the biggest relief on the planet. The problem is there is a consistent flood of different workouts that are hard to keep track of and an overload of info on fad diets like keto, fasting, meal prep, vegan, and more that may even be doing the opposite by giving you more body fat instead of losing it like it did for me. After years of struggling with these problems myself, I found the workouts that work best for me. I lost over 100 pounds and put together a course on what I call the 4 pillars of health, which is fitness, nutrition, rest, and knowing your why. In fitness, I list and show my daily routine and tips on how to condense the 60-minute workouts into even little as 20 minutes. I also include a daily eating schedule and methods on how you condense all your daily nutrition into as little as 1 meal a day while still enjoying all the best foods life has to offer. I also go over the tips and methods on how to maximize your sleep and rest, in my opinion, the most overlooked portion of fitness in life. We also dive into the psychology of why you want to do this in the first place, which helps you maintain and keep your results and success long term. So if you're looking to lower your body fat percentage, to either piss off an ex, to look better, to get laid for the first time, gain more confidence, to be in your family and friends' photos, or to kill it in your next social media post, I hope my book and course helps you achieve your goals. Learn from my mistakes so you don't have to make them yourself. Follow my social media to see my daily accountability posts. Feel free to call me out and troll me even when I slack off. And join me on my journey from fat to fit. Also, click the Learn More button to learn how to get my book for free, or just learn more how to do the course, and I will see you there. Hey guys, this is Aaron Loop and welcome. I'm so excited that you guys got this course. To me, that explains that you guys are pretty much either in the same situation I was when you're trying everything out and just you couldn't find the right thing, or that you guys pretty much got everything taken care of, but you just want to keep your skills up to par to make sure you're not missing out anything. Either way, I'm really happy that you guys are here, and I can't wait to get started and give you guys all the information that I have learned over the years from so many mistakes. I've failed in every direction possible. So hopefully you guys can learn from my mistakes so you don't have to make them yourselves. Also, if you don't notice, if you've seen my before and after videos where I've lost 100 pounds, yes, went from morbidly obese to overweight to normal. And you guys can also watch my progress to fit. I'm posting every single day. That way I call them accountability posts, so that way you guys can talk crap to me or tell me, hey man, what's going on? You haven't posted in a couple days. But yes, stay on me. I mean, you guys are more than welcome to do it too. But yeah, I'm sitting here in my kitchen where I shot those. Super inspirational to me. Every time I look at that footage to remind myself of where I was and how I got here, because let's be real. How I got to that situation was I was literally still working. You guys know, if you don't know my story, I was working 100 hours a week trying to make money. It's really tough out there. And I was launching my own company and I got really obsessed with it and passionate about it. But during that time, I actually was trying a bunch of workout courses and different diet plans, and all it was doing was legit making me fatter. And this is crazy. I'm telling you, like, I was doing the meal prep thing where I was eating 5 to 6 meals a day, and there is some truth to it. But the problem is like a couple things. You're just making so much food and it starts to go bad. So you start to cheat after like that 3rd day when that chicken and those vegetables just smell like crap. Also, you're just putting so much in your body and it just wasn't really working out for me. And I was like getting muscular, but I was getting so much fat on top of it. It just was defeating the purpose. And it was just making me fatter. So it really sucked, you know. And some of these, I've tried other things. I've tried everything. I've different types of workouts, different types of programs. I even, like, one of my friends that actually did lose a bunch of weight, I was really excited about, but he hired a personal trainer. And so I was like, crap. So I finally saved enough money and I tried doing that too. It didn't do anything for me. Same thing. I'd have to, like, you know, work on their time and have to be at the gym at a certain time. And, you know, when you run a business or when you have a busy life or going to school or whatever, sometimes you just can't make it at a certain place. Or, oh, also if you live in somewhere like here in LA where there's just traffic and it's just like a hell just getting out of the house. But yeah, it just didn't work out for me. And I was like still gaining some muscle mass, but still gaining a lot of fat. And it just wasn't right for me. Some of these other courses too, like they're like really good for women and they help them lose weight, but they're not really quite good for men. But then also some of the other courses I bought were like all for men, but they were focused more on just getting buff and getting muscular and getting huge. I just couldn't find anything that worked for me. And so that's why I said, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna make my own. Well, before I even thought that, I was like, I'm gonna find something that works for me. And I just took all these courses and all this research and all this work and all these mistakes I learned from, and I combined them into one thing. And obviously you guys can see it's worked out tremendously for me, and I really hope this works out tremendously for you. So yeah, unfortunately, the reason why this thing got created was because I got tired of everything else not working out. So hopefully this is the secret thing that finally works for you, that has worked for me as well. All that aside, I'm super excited to share all these tips and tricks and this whole structure and program that took me so long to learn. And I really also, more importantly, look forward to you guys and your progress and your feedback on this, because what I'm going to continue to do is just keep building this and adding to it and taking your guys' feedback and what you've learned from them. And obviously, yes, tell me when it has worked for you and what worked for you, and show me those before and afters. But more importantly, if there's something that isn't working for you, explain to me why, so that way I can keep updating this and we can get together and grow together and make something that works for all of us, so we don't have to sit there and have trial and error of all these other things, and we can learn from our own mistakes. But that way we can all learn from each other's mistakes. Saves us a lot of time. So again, to sum up all this, I'm really excited to get started on this. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. And regardless, I cannot wait for you guys to give me the feedback, and let's get to it. All right, guys, so this is the chest and back My Wednesday. So again, I don't know if you saw in the last video, but the reason why I do chest and backs on Wednesdays is because, hey, Aaron, why don't you do it on Mondays? Everybody else does it on Mondays. That's why I do chest and backs on Wednesdays, because when everybody else is hitting those machines, there's no access. It's not there. You're just sitting there waiting forever. So my little cheat, my little hack is moving on Wednesdays. Sometimes I even do it on Fridays, and I do legs on Mondays. So whatever works for you, depending on your situation. If you have weights at home, who cares, right? But yeah, that's my little secret, my reason why. Another reason why too is on chest and backs, I get really exhausted. It's like the most hardest weight days for me. So that way it's like not really the best thing to do on a Monday when you like run a business, or you're like going to school, or or you work at a company, or whatever you do in your life. Not having much energy on a Monday is really tough to exist in this universe. So yeah, that's why I usually put it as my Wednesdays. But again, do it however you like. So let's get started. Immediately what I do as first thing is to get it over with, because it's the hardest one, is I do the bench press. And I do that about 6 times. I do the most weight as I can possibly. Again, if you are not trying to get super buff or muscular, if you want to just be toned, don't worry about it. Just do light so you can do more reps. But I do about 6 of those, and I focus on the chest as much as possible. And then I hit this other machine. I think it's called a pull down. I'm not really quite sure, but I do, and you'll see right here in the B-roll, I do 6 on this side, 6 on this side, move to the right or the left, then I do 6 on this side, 6 on this side, and then I do right in the center, and then I do 6. Again, heaviest weights as I possibly can, really push it, really push hard. And yeah, that's what I do, 6 on that side. So that's actually a lot more than just 6. I do, if I count them all up, 6, 6, 6, no pun intended, 6, 6, 6 again. So that's a total of a lot. I'm not good at math, I'm dyslexic, but you guys get the gist. That's what I do for the first one, do 6 there, then 6 on the other one, 6 there, and then 6 on the other one, and then I'm done with that one. And then immediately after that, again, we don't rest, we let our muscles rest in between the sets, so we run right to the next machine. Then the next one, I do 6 on the incline bench. Now the reason why, this took me a long time to learn, and man, I actually learned this from, checked out the Keto Body course. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's something cool to check out too as well. But it was a huge tip, and that's like when you work and you focus on the upper portion of your body more, it gives you the V shape, gives you the illusion like the superheroes have or in all the movies. And so I focus on the incline bench. I used to do the bottom bench a lot more too, and it started just looking like I had boobs, so I stopped doing that. But I do 6 on the incline bench, same thing, hard as much as possible. And then immediately after that, I do a seated cable row, which is where I pull it in like this. You guys can see in the B-roll too as well. Hopefully I'm showing you. I'm just not looking like an idiot going like this. Yeah, this is called the seated cable roll, and I pull the machine, or pull the weights, pull them like that. So I do incline bench like this, and then I do this like that. And immediately after that, I do this machine. I don't know what it's called. You can see in the B-roll, but I hold the weight like this, and I use that lower back muscle. Because see, we just did the upper chest, and then we did the like mid back, and this right here helps the lower back hold the weight in. Same thing, as heavy as possible, not too heavy, because this you gotta be really careful about. Your lower back is very sensitive. You don't want to freaking break it. Then you can't ever work out ever again. So, you know, I do heavy weight, but not as much. And I do, what I like to do is I do 4. So I do 4, like 1, 2, back and forth, 3, 4, and then I try to do 4 just straight. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do that again. So I do a total of like maybe 10 or 12 here. So then I do that, and then I stop, then I go back to that incline bench, back to those seated rows, or whatever it's called, and then do that again for 12. And that's that set. You do like, again, 2 times each, and then you're pretty much done. Now, what I like to do, now this is kind of, like I said, everybody's different, but for here, I do several things. The decline bench, which is like, you know, I'm like laying all the way down, do that maybe 1 time, 6 reps, heaviest weight as possible. Or I do I don't know what it's called, but you'll see right here in the B-roll, where I put your hands on the weights and you pull it in like that. I like that a lot because it really isolates your muscles. I like to, you know, instead of having just 2 hands, this is just 1 hand, each muscle, pulling those in. Do 6 of those. Or I also do this where I'm like doing the free weights, and I do 6 of those. Incline bench, 6 of those. And sometimes I do just 6 of those, or I do like lighter weights, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here. And that way I can kind of basically get all portions of the muscle as possible. Now the reason why I kind of leave this open like a wild card, because as you guys know that work in busy gyms, sometimes one of those machines is not available, and so I just do whatever I see that's closest to me that is available, and I just go for it. So yeah, just you guys choose depending on what day you do it, or even if you're at home, whatever is more convenient or what you're feeling like at the time. I do 6 of whatever on those. My brother, he gave me the names of these. He says this one's called the leverage high row machine. But here, I'll just roll the B-roll here, and this is, you guys see what I do is I pull it down like this. It's kind of like a pull-up. Pull it down, do as heavy as weight as possible. It's really cool because the more that you do these, the more better and pull-ups that you can do. For those of you at home that don't have these machines, you know, this is, I have a pull-up bar. I could probably show you guys in my B-roll too as well. It's the same, basically, same thing. So I do 6 of those too as well. And for those that are doing pull-ups or at the gym doing pull-ups instead of this machine, some tips. I remember I used to like never could do a pull-up forever, and I'd even got P90X like back in the day, and I was like, man, this sucks. Like it's like the whole thing is just pull-ups, and I can't do a pull-up. But some tips is that you can cheat. And the reason why it's okay to cheat is because you cheat yourself as much as you can just to get the pull-up done. You put a chair right and you put your feet on it, help yourself pull up. Put your foot on the doorknob if you're doing pull-ups at your home, and you got somewhere to put, and just, you know, kind of cheat, you know, or even have somebody help you with your arms. The reason why it's like, hey, it's cheating, but it's like, well, just go ahead and let yourself cheat, and then cheat a little bit less, and then a little bit less, and then before you know it, you can do real pull-ups. So yeah, it's okay to cheat in this case, as long as you just every time, you know, because what we're doing here and just in life in general, right? It's just all about progress. It's not about winning. It's not about being the best right away. It's about just every day doing a little bit more, and that's how you win. So I do 6 of those, or 6 of the other things I just told you about. And then again, I like to, like, you know, on the last arms and shoulders, I had the bicep curls as like my, did those for like 2 times, or did a total of 4. That I just like to focus on the lower back. And this other thing I like to do, I don't know what it's called. And it says in the course, my brother gave the correct names for them, but put the arm down, and then I just kind of like, I call them like bowing, you know. It's kind of like, not really bowing, but I don't know. It's something crazy. So that's what I do for those. I do those 6 times. Really helps with the lower back. So don't know what it's called. You guys can see in the course. What he calls them are ab and rope crunches. That's probably what they're called, this technical term. I don't like really call them because I don't really isolate my abs as much. I mean, I do kind of, but I focus a lot on the lower back, so it really helps build those back muscles. So yeah, I do those about 6 times, and then after I do the other 2, and then I do them again, and then do them 6 times. Again, don't forget, guys, don't ever rest. Just immediately go to the next one. That way you're kind of also getting some cardio in too as well, aside from just not wasting time. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Also one massive quick bonus tip for this, and for all of them, is that your best friend, I don't have one right on me, or actually maybe wait, do I? So check this out. This is your best friend. This right here is your best friend. And I should even like freaking like make some of these for merch and like have a logo on it because you use it every day, even more than a water bottle. Now let me explain why. One, if you're like me and you sweat a ton, you know, you're always wiping it down. It gives you more motivated. It's hard to like keep doing stuff when you have a sweaty body and face all the time. That's why you guys can see I actually even wear a headband or a bandana. I just hate having all this sweat all over the place. I sweat a lot, so it really helps a lot. But this right here, your best friend, is a towel. 2 reasons. One of them is it helps you wipe everything off down all the time so you can stay focused, stay dry, and keep pushing. But also 2 is that I use it as a territory marker. Especially, you know, let's say, okay, we came from nothing, right? I came from nothing. I'm sure some of you guys came too from hard times and hard places, but when you come from these situations, everybody's out for themselves. So it's like when you're working out, it's like hunting, you know what I mean? For some of you guys that work out a lot or you've been doing this course for a bit, you guys can kind of see, you feel like primal because you're just like looking for that machine. You're going straight for it. And so it's really tough because some people are using other machines, and that's why it just gets really hectic when other people are just sitting there and they're not like, come on, get up so I can use the machine. I'm out here in LA, so there's a lot of these huge guys that do a lot of steroids and stuff. And there's these 2 older, I love them to death, these old geezers. They were sitting there and they always like talking shop, you know, like the glory days, and they're not really working out or doing anything. And so everyone knows this, but no one talks about it. It's like the unspoken thing. But these guys were doing their thing one day, and this dude that just like totally doped up on steroids, like hardcore, just like in it, he was staring at them for a bit and they were just talking, and he just flipped out, started screaming and started trying to fight them, and everyone had to break in and stop it. But like, and like he got kicked out obviously and he's banned from the gym, but even though it was not cool what he did, and it was just like he needs to chill out, but everyone felt his pain because it's just like when you're in that survival hunting mode, especially when you're working out and you're very primal, you just want to get on those machines. But this right here, your best friend, what it does is, let's say you're doing, you know, two different times of machines and you're not, you know, resting in between like me anymore. You want to focus on the chest and then the back muscles. Let the chest muscles rest while you're working the back muscles. Let the back muscles rest while you're working the chest muscles. You do that bench, you do it 6 times, and then you immediately throw your best friend on, you're claiming your property, you're claiming your machine with the towel, and it's freaking great. You do that bench 6 times, keep the weights on there, throw the towel on the bar, go immediately to the back, and while you're doing the back machine and you're working it out, that towel is reserving your spot on that bench machine. And this is great because after you do the back, then your machine's still available with your weights on the machine. You run right to it and you take your best friend back off, you wipe yourself off, you do 6 more. It's great. Especially like I said, I mean at home it's not as a big of a problem. Your best friend, the towel, it does help you just wiping off the sweat. But when you're in these primal situations at the gym, when you gotta fight for your machines and you wanna get through your workout, get your most effectiveness, you know, get the highest results, use your best friend, mark your territory, throw it on those machines so that way no one else tries to steal your machine so you can get through your workout. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just thought of that right now because this is you'll probably see in the B-roll I have a shoulder over, or a towel over my shoulder like Craig Robinson. I don't know if you guys know who Craig Robinson is. Check him out. He does a lot of comedy movies and stuff, and he's always wearing a towel. Cracks me up because I'm just like him. I sweat a lot. But yeah, it's your best friend. So definitely, I just thought of this right now. I'm gonna probably sell some towels too. I'm gonna freaking put, you know, the logo on there or something because seriously, if you don't have a little hand towel that you can use, I mean, come on. Now I'm like, you know, convincing you not to buy my whatever merch that I come up with. But if you can't buy the towel, if you can't afford it, just use a hand towel. You know what I mean? Get a hand towel, get just any type of towel, just so you have something to wipe down your sweat. But more importantly, you have something to mark your territory. So hope that random tip just helps you out too as well. Finding the right weight loss and fitness methods that work best for you can be the biggest relief on the planet. The problem is there is a consistent flood of different workouts that are hard to keep track of and an overload of info on fad diets like keto, fasting, meal prep, vegan, and more that may even be doing the opposite by giving you more body fat instead of losing it like it did for me. After years of struggling with these problems myself, I found the workouts that work best for me. I lost over 100 pounds and put together a course on what I call the 4 pillars of health, which is fitness, nutrition, nutrition, rest, and knowing your why. In fitness, I list and show my daily routine and tips on how to condense the 60-minute workouts into even little as 20 minutes. I also include a daily eating schedule and methods on how you condense all your daily nutrition into as little as 1 meal a day while still enjoying all the best foods life has to offer. I also go over the tips and methods on how to maximize your sleep and rest, in my opinion, the most overlooked portion of fitness in life. We also dive into the psychology of why you want to do this in the first place, which helps you maintain and keep your results and success long term. So if you're looking to lower your body fat percentage, to either piss off an ex, to look better, to get laid for the first time, gain more confidence, to be in your family and friends' photos, or to kill it in your next social media post, I hope my book and course helps you achieve your goals. Learn from my mistakes so you don't have to make them yourself. Follow my social media to see my daily accountability posts. Feel free to call me out and troll me even when I slack off. And join me on my journey from fat to fit. Also, click the Learn More button to learn how to get my book for free, or just learn more how to do the course, and I will see you there.